Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Darius Slay. Is he a selfish player? Also, AJ Brown had to clear up some rumors about him whispering to the media. And lastly, we're going to talk about Avonte Maddox. Is he officially back? Is he coming back? But let's get straight into it. All right, so before I get straight into it, my hoodie falling off, so let me just let it fall off. We got to talk about the injury report. Let's go over the injury report, and this is the guys who are hurt up until today. All right, so you have Zach Cunningham still dealing with that knee. Cam Jurgens with the Petrol did not participate. And I actually seen Sue Opeta practicing. So we probably leaning towards Cam Jurgens definitely not playing. Darius Slay, I'm not sure why I'm not too worried about it. I think it's more rest than anything, in my opinion. But he's still dealing with a knee, did not participate. And Reed Blankenship has been the full participant, concussion. Now, I will say this, for whatever reason, if Zach Cunningham cannot play, I want to see more Sidney Brown. I believe I want to see more Sidney Brown, in the box, him and Shaq Leonard, and see what they got. Because Sidney Brown deserves to be on the field. He's been playing really well. He played really well when Reed Blankenship got out the game. It's 50-50. People believe he played bad. And people keep saying that Jake Ferguson, Dak Prescott put the ball in the right place. Because if that ball was just a couple inches shorter, Sidney Brown pitched that off. But for a big game like that, I believe Sidney Brown played well. And even the game before that against the 49ers, I'm like, Sidney Brown's doing really good. But they kept forcing Kristen Ellis out there. And Kristen Ellis was getting picked on and picked on and picked on. And, we lost the game. But the personnel that they had out there at first with Nicholas Merle and Sidney Brown, and they just had a bunch of speed on the field, it was working. I'm not sure why they went away from it. But on to Seattle, right? But again, I want to see more Sidney Brown if Zach Cunningham has to miss the game. All right, so again, speaking of practice, let's talk about Avonte Maddox, a guy we haven't seen since the Vikings game. He was spotted practicing, catching the ball, moving. I know a couple weeks ago, he was stretching with the team. It looked like he is really pushing to go. I know I heard from somebody that he should be back if we make a playoff push. And it looked like we're going towards that trend. Hopefully we win the game or win these games out. But yes, we're going to be a playoff team. If it's true that he'll be back, it'll be a good sighting, because I'm not saying Bradley Roby is playing bad, but Avonte Maddox is just better. You can rotate Roby in, but Avonte Maddox is, when healthy, top 5-ish slot corner. Or maybe top 10, but he's probably like number 7. Like, he's really good in the slot. Really, really good in the slot. So he'll be a guy I would love to have back. Our defense actually looked somewhat better when he was playing that short amount of time. So yeah, we need Avonte Maddox back, especially for the playoffs. If he can play the last game of the season, let him play, see what he got. But man, if he puts to play, that'd be great. Because I know I seen something little off Eagles topic that CJ Gardner-Johnson has the same injury, and I think they got injured around the same time. He's coming back, I believe, this week or like the following week or so. So if they got the same injury and CJ Gardner-Johnson could recover that fast, I believe Avonte Maddox can too. But we're probably more precautionary with Avonte Maddox injury, because we want him for the long haul more than likely, or we want him for the actual playoffs more than likely. So again, it's actually really, really good to see Avonte Maddox practicing. All right, so let's talk about Slay. Slay and his podcast for the past 2 weeks been sending the fans on a frenzy, because this podcast, this is what he had to say as far as the team, his individual stats.
with a trash can with me and my boy James Bradbury on there. Come on now, like, come on. And y'all know, I'm a big time troller. I like to have fun. I ain't take it personally at all. So you see that as my profile pic. I think it's a nice pic, man. So come on now. You know, I'm a troller and I like to have fun, man. I think it was a good joke, man, good funny, but I think I played pretty good. I think I done had a very, very solid game, man. I think I had like 2 or 3 PBUs, making plays, no catches, no nothing. Come on now. Out of all days, you want to put the trash can out there when I had a damn near a perfect game. You know what I'm saying? I could have did a lot of stuff better, but maybe could have picked the ball, could have made some other plays, but overall, the game was great by me. You know what I'm saying? But as a team, we play worth the shit. I'm going to be honest. I'm an honest dude.
As you see, a lot of people took the clip out of context. Just to be fair to Darius Slay, or Slay, I should say. I'm sorry, not Darius Slay. He was speaking on the fan that had the trash cans outside, and it had Bradbury's name, Slay's name, and I think it said fire on the side. And he was like, well, how am I trash if my individual stats say this? He like, trust me, as a team, we play bad, but you can't call me trash if I didn't allow a catch. But you don't want to hear that. And that's the point I was making to Slay under his post, if he's seen it or not. The point is that your team got blown out twice. Forget your individual stats. Just forget it. Let the fan talk. You got blown out twice, and we don't want to hear that. We want to hear how you guys are going to come out against Seattle. It doesn't matter about individual stats. And I start thinking, like, sadly, I'm starting to think this how the team thinks. They just care about the individual stats. That's it. And I hope I'm wrong. I definitely hope I'm wrong. Because you got Nick Sirianni saying you just got to feed Smitty, AJ, and Goddard. You got to involve more people than that. Because there was games, Store will be open, the running back will be open, certain guys will be open. You can't just drill in Jalen Hurts' head, force feed these other guys. And I did see some drills, that was heartwarming, I should say. Swift going out for routes. Then they had like Smitty and AJ like doing slant routes, to changing the offense up a little bit, because I feel like we try to go for the big play all the time, which most of the times it's not there. Sometimes the slant route is there. Sometimes the simple curl route is there. You got DeAndre Swift. He can probably turn a 1-yard pass into a 10-yard gain. Sometimes you just got to dump it off. You don't got to force one of AJ or Smitty or even Goddard. Other guys got to eat too. All right, so let's talk about AJ Brown. Speaking of him, AJ Brown spoke to the media and he cleared up the rumor. I haven't seen video of it, but he cleared it up saying like, yo, that wasn't me that called Derek Gunn. And which is strange, because I think people got short-term or long-term memory loss, because I don't think AJ Brown and Derek Gunn is that close. Because remember when AJ Brown first got to Philadelphia, and he's aware how Philadelphia media works now, but he went on Twitter and said, yo, that article or whatever's going around, that rumor going around about Jalen Hurts is fake. Remember, he called out Derek Gunn last year because Derek Gunn, before the season started, he was saying he was hearing stuff like Jalen Hurts is not ready. He's still underdeveloped and he got a long ways to go. How silly does that sound now? Because Jalen Hurts that year made it to the Super Bowl. But AJ Brown's like, yo, nobody told this guy that. That's just absolutely not true. So now when this rumor came around saying that somebody called up Derek Gunn to tell him that the offense is too predictable, this and that, and people thought it was AJ Brown, I'm like, I don't know about that. I thought it could have been, in my opinion, Dallas Goedert, because I know he was asked about it. He like, well, some people could say stuff, when they emotional. And I think he was somewhat ratting himself out a little bit. Or maybe it couldn't have been him either. So I don't know. Just the way he was speaking about it sounded like he was emotional. He probably got a close relationship with Derek Gunn. Derek Gunn probably hit him up like, yo, what happened? Like, yo, this offense, man, is predictable. These dudes taking long to run their routes, and the play call, like, he probably vented to Derek Gunn for whatever reason. I think it was more of that than a chance of AJ Brown doing that, because again, AJ Brown called out Derek Gunn just last year, and I don't think those two are that cool. But hey, man, what do you think, and how do you feel about the news today? Is Darius Slay selfish? Avonte Maddox, will he be back? AJ Brown clearing up a little rumors. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm up.